Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. How many choices did you actually make today that were truly yours? Now, here's something a little uncomfortable. A lot of what you did today wasn't really your decision. You just followed the pattern, the routine, the crowd, not because you had to, but because it was easier. That's what I call living by default. Living by default means three simple things. You act automatically like a robot. You follow the crowd even when it doesn't feel right. And you never stop to ask the most important question: is this what I actually want? Yet the truth is, I do this all the time. That's how autopilot works. It's like we are all pilots, but instead of flying the airplane, we've turned on the autopilot and walked away. Not just in big moments, but also in small everyday ones. I've said yes to plans I didn't want to go to just to avoid awkwardness. I played games I didn't even like just because my friends were taking them. Not because I wanted to, but because I didn't stop to think. Now, here's the danger of living on autopilot. Firstly, you will lose your voice. How would you truly express yourself? Secondly, you will lose your direction. How would you truly discover what you want? And third, you will lose your identity. If you're always following others, then who are you? That's what living by default looks like. You get somewhere, but it might not be somewhere you chose. Now, I'm not saying that you need to suddenly change everything. That's unrealistic. That's overwhelming. That's honestly a bit too extra. You don't need a 100% life makeover. You just need a 1% shift. Just 1%. One small pause, one small decision, one moment where you stop and think. Instead of automatically going with a majority, pause, ask yourself, do I actually agree with this? Instead of saying yes to everything to keep the peace, pause, ask, do I really want this? Now, not living by default has appeared to me like this. Firstly, choosing differently in my second Model United Nations conference. We were asked to consider the emotion. Should journalists be protected in war zones? What do you think I said? Yes? If you said yes, you are correct. Yet the majority voted no. I felt nervous going against the majority, but I listened to my own intuition on this and not the voices that were the loudest. Also, learning to say no to peers when I used to say yes. I stopped playing Mario Kart with my friend just because I finally realized I did not actually enjoy it at all. Sorry, Mario Kart fans. Furthermore, I'm no longer staying up late chatting just because my friends are online. I realize that it's about bigger life decisions too. What you study, what path you take after school, and whether you speak up or stay silent when decisions are made for you. Instead of leaving these choices entirely to others, I've started to express my own opinion, even when it feels uncomfortable. How can you begin to make the big decisions affect your life trajectory when you can't even make the small ones? Because your life isn't built in big flashy moments. It's not built on graduation days or big trips or once in a lifetime events. It's built on the small ones you barely notice. What you eat, where you sit, what you say yes to, what you stay silent about. These tiny choices don't feel important, but over time, they become your life. Now, think what the world would be like today if these people had just followed the crowd and lived by default. Gandhi chose peace when almost everyone believed that the war was the only answer. He didn't follow what was normal, he followed what was right. And that choice changed millions of lives. Greta Thunberg started her climate strike alone outside the Swedish parliament, even though most people didn't expect a teenager to challenge adults about the future of our planet. She didn't stay quiet, she spoke up for what she believed in. Maya Angelou stopped speaking for years after a truly horrific experience. But she refused to let silence define her. She fought to find her voice again, and later became one of the most famous and powerful writers and speakers ever, proving that your true voice is worth fighting for. These people didn't live on autopilot. They made brave, small choices each day that led to huge, meaningful change. And if they could do it, so can you. So tonight, I want to leave you with two questions. Are you willing to take that small risk? Are you willing to stop living on autopilot? Living by default is easy, it's comfortable, it's safe. But living by choice, that's where your life actually begins. At the end of the day, the question isn't where your life takes you, it's whether you will be one holding the controls. Thank you.